Boys and girls, welcome. It's time for another brand new snoCast, the second best thing you can listen to right behind a goldfish trying to beatbox. I'm joined today by two very amazing special guests. It's going to be a little bit of a meme fest today. We got some memers joining me. I have PSYCHOCHIPMUNK, a.k.a. Kyle, and Joey Razorburn. What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm laughing at that analogy you said.
Oh yeah,
It's so good.
It's the new catchphrase of the show. So
I love it. I love it so much.
actually, yeah. Full disclosure, I'm gonna try to do that every cast and do a different analogy every time, just to like throw off the guests. So it'll be good. It's a grand old time.
That threw me off.
But fellas, how are you doing? How's life? How have you been?
What to go for, Joey?
I was gonna let you go, Kyle. Thank you for being a gentleman.
Oh, okay. Life's been all right. Been super busy. School's heading to a close.
Yeah.
Not very much. Trying to push out as many videos as I can before the summer break, because once that happens, expecting to get a lot more stuff out, a lot more stuff done.
Yeah, man. Summer is like prime time for YouTube, but that's my busiest time for my work. So like for me, it's like, oh, it sucks because that's like when people are watching, but I can't make. So
Right.
Not fast enough.
What about you, Joey? How's life?
Life is good. I've been working a ton lately, trying to really hone down and focus on my career and just try to move forward within my company. That being said, have not made a lot of videos lately because of that, but I am planning on releasing something within the next 60 days, so that's something to look forward to, I suppose.
What?
Like, we're talking like secret project right now. Like,
Really?
I wouldn't call it a project, just like a video that I want to do on my own, and just try to, without any feedback, I just want to try to get like something done for me.
You heard it here first, folks. A YouTuber is working on a video. So, tell us, speaking of, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about your channels? I'll give you the little plug zone here. Tell us what you do on YouTube so we can check you guys out. Let's start with randomly choosing Kyle.
Oh, well, hey, I'm PSYCHOCHIPMUNK, and I do some things. I do mostly, I guess you could call them almost montage parodies at this point, I'm gonna guess. I do some very weird things.
Yeah,
you just got to go check out my channel. Yeah, that's definitely how you describe it. Very odd. I feel like if I explain something to you, I'm losing a little bit of magic. It's definitely an enigma. Just go look at it. I mean, this is my marketing ploy. Just go look at me.
Here's the thing about Kyle's marketing ploy right now. It's incredibly accurate, and it's not an exaggeration whatsoever.
Yeah,
it's definitely a mystery.
just check it out. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
It's a block of spam.
Excellent. I'm enticed. I'm gonna go watch him again, even though just cause.
Yeah, me too.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Joey, tell us about your channel.
Well, I basically talk about Digimon all the time, which is a big exaggeration because I only made one video on Digimon. But, like I said before, I haven't made anything in a while, but I am working on coming out with something real soon.
Yeah.
And if you want to, I run a couple different shows. One of which being A Quick Shave, which I want to bring back again. It's just basically short little videos on whatever I feel like, and then the rest are just like reviews and just whatever I feel like.
Quick Shave was my favorite.
The Joey Razorburn Show.
Yeah.
You should do your main show should just be called like Joey's Razor, kind of like Occam's Razor, but it's your name.
Oh no. Joey's Razor. We need shaving cream as his vlog channel.
Shaving cream. Just like all the razor puns you can. Razor's Edge.
Exactly.
I really want to get sponsored by Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, yeah.
Exactly.
That's true. They do YouTube deals.
Yeah,
you can
man.
totally get it.
Oh,
Do they really?
it'd be the perfect one.
Yes, they totally do YouTube deals. So what's his name?
I did not know that.
Dollar Shave Club thing.
Yeah, man. You
I
gotta,
could be wrong about that.
You could be like, "Hello, I'm your obvious sponsor."
Yeah.
So
Who knows,
today,
maybe I'll send a business email today.
man. Oh man, excuse me. Whoa. Hey, just making sure you knew that I was able to cough. That was weird. So today we're recording a little bit earlier in the morning. We're a little bit groggier, and I was telling him before we started this we might do a sleepy cast today, and then I realized, we can't do a sleepy cast. That's already a thing. So instead, we're gonna go with groggy cast. So welcome to your groggy cast.
Hey, what's going on, folks?
Groggy because I worked all night and then I took a brief nap and almost overslept for this.
Perfect.
Maybe like a 2-hour nap at most.
So welcome to your groggy cast. Maybe if you're listening to us, you're groggy as well. We'll just be groggy together, and we'll have a grand old time. But today, our topic has nothing to do with anything that we've talked about so far. Our topic today, we're going to talk about genre, video game genres, what our favorite genre is, and why, and all kinds of stuff related to that. We got a lot of prompts that we'll talk about. But I thought maybe a good place to start would be to talk about our favorite genres, and I think we could talk about that for a good bit. What is your favorite video game genre? Like, obviously, it probably changes over time. It won't always be your favorite, but right now, what's your favorite video game genre and why? Whoever wants to go first.
I just want to say real quick that I freaked out for a second because I heard the Discord disconnect sound, but I'm still here. So I didn't know if I was still here or not, but I'm here. That being said...
Wait, Kyle, can you hear Joey anymore?
Yeah, I can hear Joey.
Okay, alright, so
I'm kidding.
Snow!
I'm kidding. Come on.
Snow, you prankster!
Joey, tell us what your favorite genre is.
My favorite genre, I love RPGs. I don't like all kinds of RPGs, strategy RPGs, JRPGs, just any kind of RPG. Like, I could easily sit down and try one out. There's not a lot of RPGs that I don't like, and I feel like that's a good thing. However, that being said, my second favorite genre is platformers, because that's what I grew up with when I was younger, and I love them.
So why do you think RPGs are your favorite? What makes them attached to you?
I think it might be I think the story line involved.
Yeah.
If it doesn't take itself way too seriously, definitely has a big draw in for me. Customization is a big thing with me, and just a general sense of so this is where the grogginess is kicking in. I don't know. RPGs just make me feel some kind of way that I'm having trouble describing right now, and that's something that I want to experience a lot, which is why I enjoy playing RPGs so much.
Just happy inside,
Exactly.
Indescribable joy.
Is it
yes.
like, because for me with the RPGs, I mean, I totally agree that like story is normally a pretty big focus in them. For me, I always kind of like the battling in RPGs. Like, that's probably a big draw for me because I really enjoy them as well. A lot of them are kind of that like turn-based or the real-time stuff. Like if I'm thinking Final Fantasy or whatever. I like the battling and kind of just like the leveling up, and you have kind of freedom to choose how you want to grow your characters and the different ways you want to level them and stuff.
Yes,
so I like that.
That is another big thing that I like. I'm glad you mentioned the battling, because the battles are, battles make or break an RPG.
Right.
In some cases,
absolutely.
And two RPGs specifically came to mind, both JRPGs. One of them, my all-time favorite game, The Last Remnant, which uses a unique turn-based battle system, which a lot of people don't like. It's not a popular game whatsoever, and I totally see why. And then the other one is a little gem called Hyperdimension Neptunia, which also has gotten a lot of flack, but but the battle system is just so good in my opinion.
I remember Hyperdimension.
I was gonna say I have not heard of either of those, but I'm glad you didn't say like Final Fantasy, because like that's pretty much all I would say or know. So
yeah,
you clearly know more about the genre.
I wanted to go. I don't want to say niche, but I wanted to go less renowned. Let's go with that.
Well, those are
still good picks.
I have not heard of them. You've played those, Kyle? Though you said which one?
Like I know of Joey's love for Hyperdimension Neptunia, but I have played Last Remnant, and I do like Last Remnant. I also I don't know if do you know, Joey? You ever heard of Lost Odyssey before?
Yes, I have. I have heard of that. I know. Our buddy Steve O'Hobo is a fan of the Lost Odyssey.
Yeah. Both he and I love that game.
But I personally have not played that. But it's on my list of games that I want to play.
The combat is not something like, you got to go seek out immediately. It's kind of standard. I think the story so it makes it very different, really good, but it's kind of still standard when it comes to that. It's not like Last Remnant where almost everything is different and kind of stands out in that way. It's not very unique.
Gotcha.
What I like about RPGs is how everyone can be so different. Like, very few RPGs are similar to each other. They all have like different, whether it's the art style or the combat or just the way it's structured or whatever. But like I think about like Paper Mario, which is an RPG, but is like nothing like Final Fantasy. You know?
Oh yeah. When you think RPG, Paper Mario is not the first thing that comes to mind.
Right. It's not what comes to mind.
It's even a JRPG, and so just like that, and then compare that to like Earthbound, which is also drastically different from both of those two. So, I like that it's a very broad genre that can get different people, because if you really like the Final Fantasy-esque like crazy hair Japanese big swords, it's got you covered. If you like Mario, exactly. Hey, Paper Mario's got you covered. Like it's just totally different. It's pretty cool.
It encapsulates an entire spectrum, and that's not something a lot of genres can really boast.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to brag for JRPGs or just RPGs in general right now, but like big points to them.
I know it's my favorite genre, but it's also the best genre.
Just objective.
Yeah. That's good. I definitely can get down with an RPG. The thing with me is that you got to invest some time in it, right? Like if you want to get into an RPG, you got to set aside, a good amount of time.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
When I beat Final Fantasy X, I mean, I put in 80 hours, 100 hours into that game, and some can be that long. It's an investment, but worth it.
Love Final Fantasy X.
Oh, I know, dude.
I've only played one Final Fantasy game, and it was 7. Mm-hmm. And I think when I played through that, I think I played through it when I was like 15 or 16, and I think I put about like about 80 hours into it.
Jeez, man.
Like just because I was trying to beat the final bosses, and couldn't do it, and then like the data got corrupted or something, and then that was that.
Oh my god.
So but I beat the game, and that's what counts. I had a very pleasant experience with Final Fantasy VII, and I've been meaning to play 8 and 10 for a long time. I just never got around to it.
8's pretty good too. 8 was the first one I ever played, the first Final Fantasy I ever played. I didn't beat it though. 10 was the only one I think that I've beaten. I could do a whole cast about 10, but I'll spare you that. But okay, so RPGs, you got to invest. But we were talking about, you were saying like customization and stuff, and for some reason I feel like they can be pretty personal. You can have like a pretty personal relationship with an RPG, and I don't know exactly why that is, but maybe it's kind of the customization you're talking about. Maybe you can relate to some of the characters, but I feel that way. Do you guys feel that way?
Oh, completely, absolutely. I think that's probably the most important aspect to me is the characters. If they're like realistic or relatable, that just helps everything be more immersive. I think I care about the characters more than the battling, which is not great. But that's what seals it for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the customization. Whoa! I had a full thought lined up, and then it just immediately vanished. So, that's
fine. We can always come back to that.
I trust you. I trust you that it was good.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you're an RPG boy.
Welcome to Groggy
If you remember, just like
welcome to Groggy Cast.
If you remember, Groggy Cast, everybody, we'll plug it again. If you remember, just totally butt in. But totally. I want to go to Kyle. I want to go to Kyle. What is your favorite genre of games, and why?
Sure. I didn't want to pick RPGs Because I figured maybe Joey was going to say something about it.
Hey.
So I went instead for for point and click games.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Because
Nice.
that's actually probably my favorite. When we're talking about RPGs, I was gonna butt in and talk about Earthbound.
Yeah.
How that's a very popular choice to like it, and now even more people are gonna like it because of Undertale.
Yeah,
It's Toby
yeah.
Fox based all of it on Earthbound.
For sure.
But point and click games like Sam and Max and the Telltale games, I did a lot of videos on some Telltale games, and I really like the stories of that. I find it kind of hard to make a video about it because the story is so engrossing. You know what I mean? You have to be like in it from the very start. But like when I'm talking about like the characters in an RPG, like why I'm so attached to the characters, like with point and clicks, like you are the character. You have to know
Yeah.
your story and your characters
Right,
intimately.
right.
And for it to be a good game, it's got to be written really well. Well, that's what I think I like the most about that.
Man, point
And
and
I think-
clicks, yeah.
I love point and clicks. Probably my favorite game from the genre, if you guys know Sam and Max, which is a Telltale game, but that's been around since God, I want to say like early '90s. It's been around for.
That's the-
decent
Telltale just
amount of
have like the entire point and click market at this point. Like,
Telltale, totally. They've been having the whole market for a long time.
I didn't know that was
Telltale's
Telltale
been
way
around.
back in the day. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what's really neat. Is like Telltale, they don't even just do point clicks. I mean, they used to. Didn't they do like Crash Bandicoot or something crazy? I could be
no,
wrong.
that was Naughty Dog.
Okay, it was
They did some kind of poker thing. I know that.
Night at the poker
I know exactly what
inventory
you're talking
something.
That's offhand all I know.
Yeah. Let me see. I haven't.
Is Sam and Max the one with the dog and bunny thing?
Yes, that's it.
That's what I thought.
I love those guys. So expertly written. Everything's super snarky. I love it. It's so great. It's Night at the Inventory. That's it. Poker Night 2. Yes, those games are great too. I forgot that those are also Telltale, but that's not. It's poker. It's not.
They definitely,
Point and
yeah.
click.
Sorry, go ahead, Joey.
I'm gonna make a confession right now. I've never played a Telltale game,
Ooh,
but
Really?
I really want to play Tales from the Borderlands.
what?
Oh,
I lost to Joey.
But I-
okay, I'm still here. I'm here. Okay. See what I mean? Like it just I don't know what happened. But I really want to play Tales from the Borderlands. What I was going to say until I got kicked out.
Dude, you're gonna love Tales from the Borderlands. It's probably my favorite Telltale game. It's so good, dude. You'll love it. I promise.
I know.
I think.
I know Chris Hardwick is one of the voices in it, and
Really?
and I love that man.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't.
Chris
know he was.
Hardwick is great. I didn't even know that either. What?
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite humans.
I've only played.
He's-
Now that I think about it too, I've only played a bit of Walking Dead. I haven't played extensively Telltale games.
I have not finished The Walking Dead to make a confession as well.
I didn't
What?
finish it. I think I only got through like the second episode, so I played a little bit of it, but not extensively.
I think. No, it requires so much like dedication to it. You
Right.
gotta. It's hard to get into the to Walking Dead specifically, and you'll be delighted to know, Joey, that the character that Chris Hardwick voices, is like the best character in the whole game.
Yes,
He's like the
yes,
sort of best.
that's so good.
He's not the main character, but he is in fact like he's a great character. But I don't want to spoil nothing about it. You'll love it.
Thank you. That's all I needed.
No problem, man. You'll love it.
So same with point and especially the Telltale ones. Same with RPG. I think there's strong connection to the characters, really strong story. In fact, that's pretty much the reason people play.
Totally.
A huge draw. Is that the case with old point and clicks? Do you think? I mean, I know you mentioned too. It's like it's
totally.
you are the character that's kind of playing.
Oh, especially because graphically, the games they weren't up to snuff. What separated a good game from a bad game back then was what it did with the limitations it had. So the story had to be
Yeah.
fantastic, or the characters had to be well written. Otherwise, who would play it? It looked
Yeah.
ugly no matter what, anyways. So yeah, I think it was even more so the case back then. And now you kind of have things are kind of blending together, and it's kind of harder to find out what's better than the others. And I don't know. I feel like it's becoming a big gray mess.
Yeah, the
Like, I
Walking
hear-
Dead was funny because there was gameplay. Obviously, it was very minimal. and it was,
Yeah, totally.
in a way, just you're just there for the story. You're almost kind of a walking simulator, and then just more story.
Exactly, it's like a visual novel or something.
Yeah, visual novel. That's a good way to describe it. So, you gotta be invested in the story, otherwise,
Totally.
what's the point?
Otherwise, what are you there for?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I keep hearing I'd like Life is Strange, but I've never played it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's about.
Well,
even.
they have so many now, right? They have so many Telltale games.
Yeah, they're a billion. Is Life is Strange a Telltale game?
I believe that's Square Enix.
Oh, see, and
Really?
tells you how much I know. I thought it was Telltale because it's just
See,
that style, and it's
I
like,
got
oh, okay,
no
great.
idea.
See, I'm not even 100%. I think it's Squeenix, but I could be wrong.
Squeenix.
Squeenix.
It's only $5 too.
I mean,
Like, it can't
we
be
can all
too
agree
bad.
Minecraft Story
Like, for the
Mode
whole thing?
is the best Telltale game. But
Oh,
I saw a stream of it once, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, I just saw a stream of it once, and that's all I have to say about it.
I was
tried
there. I
so
saw
hard
it
to forget it. Oh man, we all knew what happened.
Yo, point and click though, like that was a good choice, Kyle, because I didn't expect that one from you, but
I didn't either.
That's a good call.
That is. Thank you.
They're
I
good
totally. I never would have thought that I'd well, actually would have said it. Like it's totally a very personal pick, and I don't know. It's hard to do anything about other than talk about it, I guess. But yeah,
like
I
that
love
they-
it. I never get a chance to talk about
They make you think, like, King's Quest or those old ones where it's
Yeah.
you gotta, a lot of people, the joke is like, you just click everything and try everything to see if something will eventually work, but it's
Right,
always
and that's the
logical.
way you
and
gotta
it makes
do it.
sense. Yeah, right.
it. Yeah, totally.
But I like it,
how do
There's a lot of stuff
Totally.
like that.
Oh, great! It gives me an idea, but we'll save it. I like that idea. Then.
Okay.
We'll keep it in there.
I'll tell you my favorite genre, and this one was a little hard for me to pick as well. Obviously, there's lots of genres I enjoy. I do like a good RPG every once in a while. I like action adventures, of course, but if I gotta go with favorite, I gotta go with platformers. And I know Joey said that for a second favorite. For me, that is by far my favorite. And I was having this discussion, I think, with Perry the other day, how it's really hard for me nowadays to get into a deep game that you got to get invested in. And I know that's what we were just talking about, with RPGs and stuff. But
Yeah, no.
the conversation came up about Zelda. And everybody loves Zelda. Of course, there's so much to it that's great. I loved Ocarina of Time, but I struggled getting into these other ones. I've tried to play lots of other Zeldas, and for some reason I can't just invest in them. And I didn't know why it was, and I think the reason is the older I get, the more I just want to pick up a game and play, and that's it. You know what I mean?
I'm completely with you. No, absolutely. When you're stressed out a bunch of stuff, you just want to pick up something and play.
Zelda's a game that is perfect when you're younger, and it's the perfect game as a kid because it's so imaginative and you can go in this world and huge adventure and journey.
Exactly.
And that's why I think everyone loved it as a kid, and they continue to love Zelda because they had this childlike investment in this game. And me personally, I didn't. I never played a Zelda game, extensively until I was a senior in high school. So I didn't have that childlike connection. So if I want to play a Zelda game, I need to mentally prepare myself that, okay, I'm going to be in it for this story, I'm going to try to get invested. But man, if I just come and sit at the computer and I want to play a game, it's going to be a platformer because it's just boom, I don't care about the story. I just want to play, I just want to get into it for the gameplay.
Right, exactly. Not to talk about a minor point that you made, but I want to make a quick confession real quick. I have never played a Zelda game.
Dang.
Ever.
Wow.
I've played maybe within the first hour of Twilight Princess on the Wii, and that's it. And apparently that is the slowest part of the whole game.
Yeah.
It's not great, dude.
The conversation came up because about Twilight Princess HD, which just came out. And so a lot of people are getting back into it. And that came up, that the beginning is really slow. And that's good to know because I've tried to start Twilight Princess 3 times. and I never just I couldn't stay
I
hooked.
can't do it.
Yeah,
Me neither.
yeah. So
I can't even get into Wind Waker, which is like the most whimsical game
right.
ever. Something you'd really be able to stay into.
And that's the one that everyone's like, you need to play Wind Waker then, because that one you can get hooked. And I haven't played it yet, so maybe I will. And I know that if I do, I'll have to mentally prepare myself and be like, okay, just be in it for the story too and all this.
Right.
Right.
It's just too much, dude.
But like seriously, I'll want to play, you know, a roguelike, pick up and play it real quick. That's always a go-to for me as well.
Totally. Absolutely.
And a lot of those ones that I enjoy are platformers. And so like I'll love to just pick up a game of Spelunky. I've been playing that one a bit more now just because I did that good game design recently. But
Bless you.
big old bless you. Favorite games from the genre though? I mean, like, obviously there's Mario, not so much modern Mario, but like Super Mario World, Mario 64, fantastic. Donkey Kong, obviously. Like I think unanimously I'd probably have to go with Donkey Kong Country too. But you know, also like Shovel Knight or just any of these games that are bringing platforming to new heights, and I love it, and they're expanding the genre. So I'm noticing as I get older that I'm so much more about I just want to pick up and play a fun game, you know?
So you wouldn't say that a very certain game, Momodora, wouldn't fall into a platforming genre, would you? Would it be more like a Metroidvania sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, it is still kind of platforming, I guess. I don't know.
I have no idea. I don't know. I haven't
Not
picked it up.
really. You're right.
I
It's
can't tell
more.
you.
It's Metroidvania, but
I took a risk.
well,
Is that something to know as someone that has not played it yet?
Momodora.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet.
Oh,
haven't played it
game's
either.
fantastic. I'm all about that game right now. That is my new hot button game. But here, that's a good point because that is not. You're right. I wouldn't classify that as a platformer. Oh, I just wanted, but it still has the pick up and play thing. I can just dive into it and hop in real quick. The draw for Momodora for me is the difficulty, and it's just kind of it's like that Dark Souls-esque hard game. Which, if I had a second favorite, that would be my second favorite. I think just the difficult games, because it's much more than just Dark Souls. Like that's an obvious. I love Dark Souls, but
yeah, it's a big go-to.
A combination of the two would be like I want to be the guy, you know, or I want to be the Bashi. Like really, really hard platformers. And
they're great.
That's like the perfect. Like if we had a brand new I want to be the Bashi that comes out, like I'd be all over that in a heartbeat.
And I love the stories of those games too. They're so over the top and just weird.
I was gonna say,
I love to watch that.
If there's story at all, you know, I mean, it really is.
Yeah, if there is one, right?
The whole games are homage, you know. It's all just other video game references and stuff.
No, completely.
I guess there is like a modern day Bashi, and it's Wings of V, which is made by the same guy.
Right.
Solgren, who made I Want to Be the Bashi, now made Wings of V, which is an extremely difficult platformer. So I love platformers. I love really hard games. When they come together, that's like my cup of tea.
Absolutely. I really wish I could ever pick up one of those games. It's so hard. I'm so impatient when it comes to learning a game. If I don't get it like in the first 10 minutes, I'm out.
It takes so much patience. You have to. So okay, like we were talking about story, and you have to invest in a story. You have to invest in these difficult games, knowing that you're gonna die a million times and you're gonna get really frustrated. But for some reason, I love that. You know, like that's a draw for me. Is like this is gonna challenge me to my breaking point. But for some reason, I love that.
And more power to you. I personally, I can't get into it. Like I've been meaning to go back and actually play Dark Souls again. I've only played like the first 25-30 minutes or so of it.
Yeah.
And I want to actually continue playing through that. However, that being said, something like Wings of Vi, not necessarily my kind of platformer.
Yeah, it's definitely not for everybody.
Like something like that. What was that one? 1001 Spikes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Things like that. Not my cup of tea. Not my platformer of choice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
What I
I'm
love
looking
about this though, this conversation, is how different. Like all of us have just described so completely different games that we love, and
I'm so
yet
glad we spread out so much.
man, that's what brings us together. What a
Yeah.
what a beautiful
I-
moment we just had.
And we
It's our
kinda said the
differences
same
that,
stuff,
that
too.
bring us closer.
How wonderful. Big happy family.
Yeah.
So now that we've
We're in a
described
timeshare in the Aspens.
now that we've discussed our favorite genres, I want to ask you if it was it really hard for you to decide on your favorite?
No.
Not really, no. I wouldn't think so.
Oh,
Like, you mean
like-
favorite
well.
game or favorite genre? No, I mean, it
Okay,
depends. If we're talking about favorite game, then yes. But favorite genre, no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I 100% back that notion. I feel like it's a lot more. Well, aside from me, I already know what like my all-time favorite game is, and it's a JRPG. But if I were to pick anything after that, I feel like it would be very difficult for me to actually narrow down like a solid like top 5 list of my all-time favorite games.
Same. Completely.
Whereas with my favorite genres, it's it's pretty simple. Like it's the ones that I play the most and the ones that I have the most enjoyment playing.
Right. No, I can't even pick like a list either. Like I'd run out of stuff probably. But
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. It's.
I guess then I just wonder why. Like, why was it so easy? We have this like just determination of like this is what I'm drawn to more, and obviously we're all three really different. I wonder why we love those games more than others for us specifically. Did it have to do with because we played a lot of those as a kid? Did it have to do with the way my brain works? I just am drawn to what this game offers. Like I don't know.
I can't tell you if I have any stigma to it either. I don't know why I enjoy the games that I enjoy either. I don't know. Maybe Joey has a different answer, but I think it's just the way I was wired. It's just like
Yeah.
love a good story.
See, when I was young, I played a lot of the Humongous Entertainment point and clicks.
Yeah.
And I feel like those stories had a big influence on the genre that I would later come to love, like story wise. Like I feel like the stories of like the point and click set me up to want to have a good story in my games, and I feel like RPGs basically was just the next step forward from those Humongous Entertainment point. It's not like
That's
I'm saying
totally
I went from Spy Fox to like Lost
Final
Odyssey or like we mentioned earlier, but like
But, like, you knew
something
what
to
you
that
wanted from
extent.
Right. You
Like
took
it
a
was
game that
like
you
it
knew
was
you wanted.
it was stepping stones.
Totally. I completely understand that. No, I'm still with you. Like, I think that was my evolution as well. And I came back like, you know what? I found out what I really wanted. Like, I know that you really like the story, you like the elements of that, and you wanted to take that to the next step. I think that's completely valid. I would have done the same thing. I don't know. I guess I came back and felt like maybe it's the casual aspect that makes me like it more or whatever. But I took the same steps you did.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, a lot of it has to do with childhood. That's just the games that I grew up playing. Like, Donkey Kong holds a very special place in my heart because of just growing up with them. If instead on my Super Nintendo, because, like, my SNES library was the 3 Donkey Kongs, Super Mario World, and then, like, weird knockoff, like, Disney games, just, like, really, like, bad, like, I didn't have A Link to the Past. I didn't have Super Metroid, so these ones that everyone is like, oh, I loved these as a kid. I bet if I played them as a kid, I would be the exact same way, But because I didn't, I just don't have the affinity towards those puzzle-esque dungeon games,
Me neither. No, I feel like, especially, I'm a little bit younger, so I realize that the like selection of games may be a little bit different. But I feel like if you kind of grew up with the mainstream like gauntlet of games that everybody seems to grow up with, it almost is like a dogma. You can't, you know what I mean? There's no way to go around it if somebody's talking about them. And I don't know. I'm with you, Snow. I never played Link to the Past. Never played any of these games. I don't see what the whole hype's about.
I didn't grow up with a Nintendo in my house.
Ooh.
The only Nintendo system that I had growing up was Game Boy Color, and then the Advance SP, and then a GameCube later on. But the system that I grew up with was the PlayStation. And so I never got to experience like Donkey Kong Country or any of those kinds of like classic platformers.
I remember you saying that you've never played a
know.
Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, I've never played a Donkey Kong
out.
Country game.
Just like leave right now. I remember you said that the other day, and I was like, "Are you kidding? Like, you need to right now. Go do it." No, I understand. Obviously, this is what we were just talking about. You didn't grow up with them,
Yeah.
you know, all this stuff. So
You totally made me realize something, Joey. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Joey.
No, I was just gonna say that if I did grow up with like those classic Nintendo platformers, I probably would have more of an affinity towards towards platformers, and maybe I would have more of an affinity towards I was trying to come up with a joke for terribly difficult platformers, but nothing came to mind. So
welcome to Groggy Cast.
Welcome to Groggy Cast.
Were
You reminded me, Joey.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was
basically.
gonna say Kyle.
My bad. Sorry.
No, just go ahead, please.
I didn't get an SNES till like 2006, like a decade ago. My first console was also a PlayStation, and I just now realized that my favorite game of like all time, first game I ever played, is in fact an RPG. Like I don't think it's a JRPG, but it's Chrono Cross, and it's the sequel, like a blood relative to Chrono Trigger.
Right.
And it's I don't know, it's probably just a straight RPG. And it's like I didn't even think about it. That's totally my favorite game. And it's like that's odd. I am also with Joey. Never had an SNES, never had an NES. Started off with PlayStation. I didn't have a Nintendo console in my house till like 2009. So like not even a decade ago.
I think it plays a big part, man, and just what we're used to, you know, like I can get into this because that's what I know, you know?
Right.
yeah,
It's
there's definitely comfort in familiarity.
It's
Totally.
like when you choose a difficulty setting in a game and it tells you, choose this if you're familiar with this genre, you know? Like they'll even like say
Right.
that. It's like you can play
Yeah,
on hard
recommendations.
if you're a veteran of this genre. Like it's really interesting that they play to that in difficulty settings.
It's so
You're
weird.
used to it.
However, on the opposite side of the coin of that, in certain of the big AAA games, like your Black Ops or whatever, like for the difficulty, like the hardest one, and be like, you won't survive, don't pick this genre, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
and
the exact
that's just something that's never made any sense to me. Like why? Like it's obviously it's difficult. Why would you tell someone not to pick it?
Right.
Like they're entitled to their own decision.
I
like,
love that.
You
Well,
will not
that
survive.
goes back to like Doom having like nightmare
Yeah.
mode, and it's like ooh,
Wolfenstein stuff.
yeah.
Exactly.
Although in Doom's defense, that was super hard, and I could never get past the first level.
that was true nightmare mode. It really was.
It was.
I'm gonna totally shift topics. Different question, but
Go ahead.
But related to genres. Can you think of a game that is like undefinable? Is there a game that it's like, yeah, this one doesn't even fit in like a genre that we have. I can't think of a genre to place it in. Is that possible to think of a game that's undefined?
Yeah, but
Nothing honestly is coming to mind.
I was gonna say
oh.
that's probably not an off the top of your head question because I can't. It's hard for me to think of ones too. I've played really unique games, but even then, I would still say, okay, that's a this and that.
Yeah, I would probably be inclined to say the same thing.
Like I think of a game called Lovely Planet. I don't know if you guys have ever played it, but Lovely Planet is like this really bright and just like solid primary color type game where you run around and shoot like enemy blocks and stuff, and it's really happy and pretty. But even so, I would describe it as an FPS Katamari Damacy. Like it's exactly
I was about
that.
to say. And what would you call Katamari? You know, like what kind of game is that?
You know what? That's a good point, though. Talk about Katamari
actually,
Damacy.
that might be. Like, is Katamari like its own genre
The
at that point?
undefined.
Like, is
totally
it the
undefined.
undefinable genre? Because honestly, I can't think of a genre that Katamari fits in.
Exactly. Like
That's
what?
a really good point.
the hell is it?
Yeah. We found
it's
it.
certainly
We found
not a platformer or like a rhythm game. I mean, you're racing the clock, but it's hard. It's not a racing game.
That's a good point. That's pretty much its own kind of game. And any other game that's like it now, we just say is like Katamari Damacy. Like,
exactly.
talk about an innovation when it came out. Like, what the heck is this game? You're just rolling stuff. Like, you're just making a bigger blob. That's all you're doing.
And that's just like the part of the game.
So soothing though.
It is great. I love it.
Oh yeah. No,
There's something just entirely like, I feel like. Now personally, I haven't played it, but I've like watched playthroughs of it.
Yeah.
But I even just watching these playthroughs, like I just get totally like mellowed out and relaxed, and I just like get into it, man. Like I really want to actually play it for myself at some point.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. You're gonna be kind of worried about the clock though. That's what
at
at least
for
spooked
sure.
me. But like just at least watching it and listening to the music and stuff, I love that. It's got a great atmosphere to it.
And I think just that, like you said, the atmosphere and the art and just like how weird that game is what sets it apart too. That is one of the weirdest games you'll ever play.
It is super weird.
Maybe that's a genre. It's just a weird.
It's a
weird game.
It's odd weird.
Are you bored with your platformers? Go play this weird genre of game.
And it's super. I don't know how to explain that. It's undefinable. How am I supposed to explain it?
It's undefinable. That's a really good point. Like, I'm really glad that we found one because, like, I really can't. How do you even describe it?
It's a very weird Japanese game.
That's the genre. Just weird Japanese.
Just
I was talking
it
about
up.
this with Kyle yesterday that, like, it's so hard to talk about a game without comparing it to its genres. Like, what's the first thing you do when you're describing a game to somebody or you're, like, recommending a game? You know, it's like
genre.
Yeah, you're like,
exactly.
Oh, well, it's FPS, but it's also got like that's the first thing you do. Oh, it's kind of like this. Oh, it's a puzzle game that has this. Like that's what we go to describe the game is its genre, and we have these already based genres that games fall into. So how would you describe Katamari Damacy to someone who's never played
there
it before?
You go. That thing that's
Like,
undefined.
I feel like I wouldn't be able to. Like it's just like something totally unique and on its own spectrum.
Yeah.
Like it, and there's just something totally unique and lovable about it. And I feel like if anyone listening is unfamiliar with it, they should definitely go check it out.
Definitely. I don't think I can compare it to a game at all, though. Like, it's just, you roll a ball and the whole world gets engulfed by your ball.
Right.
Like, I don't... What would you say? Like, how would I compare it? It's like Final Fantasy, but with a big ball. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like...
Like, I can't imagine.
It's like Call of Duty, but it's nothing like Call of Duty.
But it's absolutely not. Exact opposite.
It's one where you would
like,
just describe
it's like
what
Telltale
happens.
presents The Walking Dead, but nothing like Telltale presents The Walking Dead.
You know how in I'm gonna run that joke to the ground. That's really cool though. That's a good point. I love when games can do that. It's very rare. A lot of times nowadays it's like, oh, okay, this is a new RPG. This is a new fill in the blank. Which is not bad,
right.
But man, when you can get a game that's just so unique like that, that's awesome.
Breaks the mold. It's so great. Yeah, I think something like that, especially now, like in how YouTube is now in that society, something that's super new, super undefinable, has like the potential to explode in popularity. I think that the more people that are trying to push the boundaries of what makes a game, but not like a dumb art game where you're like staring at an apple, it would be good. I think you could do a lot of great stuff with that.
Well, that's a good point. It would still have to be fun. It would still have to have all the elements that make games great, right? Like it couldn't just be, oh, this is a game that no one's ever done before, but like you said, it's a stupid nothing game. Like
exactly,
it's got to have good gameplay. It's got to have something that draws you in. And I think with Katamari, it was really, really fun, soothing gameplay we were just talking about. And just the weirdness of the whole thing that made it unique. It's really interesting.
I think so too. Like, it's really fun. It makes it important.
That is what's most. It's just fun. Exactly.
What were you gonna say, Joey? My bad.
I think I was just gonna say that I feel like going back a little bit to the top comments about art games. I feel like just people like. I don't want to say like make a generalization because I haven't been paying attention to like game news lately. Like my computer is finally been repaired and usable for like after like a month, and I haven't been paying attention to anything, any game news or any game videos or anything like that. I've just been focusing on my work, but I feel like there's just like an absurd amount of art games, and like I don't want my potential library to be filled with nothing but like artsy walking simulators, and I feel like there's just needs to be more of a focus to try to actually bring like innovative game ideas like to the table.
No, I'm completely with you. If you just go into Steam and type indie.
yeah. Like that's all I was gonna say is that I'm over it.
I was gonna ask what you meant by art games, but I see what you're saying. Like the ones that are just kind of they're sending a message, but it's all subtle and just through nothingness. Which whatever.
You're getting yourself invested for probably nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's how I felt about The Witness.
Whoa.
Anyway. Yeah, and you know, some people totally love them. Like I think about like The Beginner's Guide, which was one that came out recently. That was pretty much like going through someone's creation process of making games.
Yeah.
And
see, that actually tells a story.
That one kind of drew me in a little bit. I didn't finish it, but I thought that was a really cool concept. But it was very much just almost this visual novel walking simulator we're talking about. But
I'm still with you. I still like it.
Like I have way too many games on my backlog that when like people start like talking, all playing a new game and talking about a game simultaneously, like, and it's just like a new, I don't want to call it a fad, but like the game of the week basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I just can't keep up, and I feel like so old for saying that, even though I'm only 22. Like I feel like I just can't keep up with the games that like people today are talking about.
The kids these days, their games.
Yeah, it's just too much, man. I'm with you.
Well, I think it goes back to what we were saying earlier about some people have an affinity towards that, right? Like it's not ones for us, and we're like, I don't really get it, or I can't really get into it. But you know, just like we're drawn to those genres that we love. Some people are all about it. And
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
I mean, they're wrong.
I just have trouble. I just can't keep up with like I don't know. I hardly know anything about The Beginner's Guide. I don't really know anything. I don't know anything about The Witness. Like
they definitely come and go. They come and go quick.
Like Firewatch was a big one that was talked about for like a couple of weeks, and I know nothing about it.
It's so true though. They've come and left. Like Firewatch for sure. It was a hot topic, and then now it's gone. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like just these games of the week, I can't keep up with.
I almost feel like that's games in general though. Now, I mean, like, I'll make a video about a game that I'm like, oh sweet, this one's really hot right now. But by the time the video comes out, the game's old news. You know.
Exactly.
So it's just the internet moves so fast, and that's part of it.
It's so
and it's really weird with what games wind up being like. Not fad games. Like I totally like when Undertale first came out, I totally thought it was going to be like one of those fad games.
It's a good example.
Like I totally thought it was just going to be a game of the week, and the internet is still raving about Undertale. So I mean,
there's always the weird ones that stand out, like Five Nights at Freddy's. Why is it stuck around? Minecraft. Like there's just ones that will blow up, and you can never predict what it is or why.
No, it's so odd. I thought it was such an interesting idea, like Five Nights at Freddy's. Like that's kind of cool. Yeah. I hate animatronics; they're terrifying. And now it's like, now I'm tired of it, dude.
Yeah,
I'll never love it again.
Didn't Five Nights at Freddy's World come out recently?
Yeah, but it's actually been taken off of Steam, and everyone that bought the game has been refunded. Like what? Scott Cawthon was like, I made it for
free on Game Jolt.
Really?
Yep.
He was like, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, real talk. It's so bizarre. What a fall from grace. Like, Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through 4, boom, boom, boom. They're so good. And then Five Nights at Freddy's World, RPG with the same characters. Everyone's like, what? And then he released
It's
it,
the worst game.
and it was awful. It was so terrible. Everyone hated it. And Scott Cawthon was like, yeah, I'm sorry, this is not done. So he took it down, and now he released it for free on Game Jolt. So there you go. Free Game Friday for you. There's a free Game Friday.
There you go. Free Game Friday. Don't do a free Game Friday. Just FNAF one.
Because I was curious about that game in particular, because I have an RPG affinity.
Right.
And while I've played like maybe I don't even think maybe I don't think I played a Five Nights at Freddy's game. But it's one of those games where you just constantly see footage of it. You know what it is, even if you probably have seen the footage of some of these games, and I don't know how to describe it. It's just one of those games that even if you don't think you know it.
Exactly. You've seen it.
And I wanted to give Five Nights at Freddy's World a shot just because it's weird and I like weird. And if it was, since you're telling me this information, that should drive me away from it, but now it just makes me want to play it even more, just to see like what the happened.
Yeah.
But like Joey,
Like-
have you seen any gameplay? Like, have you seen
No.
it though?
Yeah.
I think the
it's
moment you see it, you're gonna be like, man,
Oh.
it's not even like a fun, good weird. It's like a bad
Yeah,
weird.
it looks bad. It looks really bad.
It's so awful.
I want to close with one last question, and this one might be the hardest one that we've done so far.
I'm so upset.
If you could combine genres that have not been combined before, what would you like to see? Like a new game, a new type of genre that you've never seen before, of the melding of different ones that you like or have seen, but you've never seen them combined before. If you could create that new genre, what would it be? And I can start us if you need time to think on it.
I mean, I'm ready.
Go ahead.
I have
if you
one,
need
but
to.
I don't know how to describe it. So, Kyle, go ahead.
Okay, I have something that is in fact made, but it's like the only one game I've ever seen do this combination before. So I know I'm kind of breaking the rules a little bit, but Snow, whenever you said, like, yeah, I want to hop into Spelunky, I want to get into like a roguelike, that's super quick for me to go play and just chill out and have fun. A game I play a lot when I'm in calls and stuff like that is a game called Rogue Shooter, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's abandonware. No, the guy who made it just completely left it on Steam, and it's a roguelike shooter. It's basically like Doom, but like you go through all these levels, and it's like it looks like a super early 90s like first person shooter, and it's all tilted on one axis, and it's a roguelike. Like you get different weapons and all that, you pick it up and stuff. That's something I can just play for hours and hours and hours. It's so mindless, but it's great. I love it.
There's one that I've played a little bit. It's called Paranautical Activity. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I think I've heard the name of
But
that.
that one's also
No,
a
I haven't.
first-person shooter roguelike. But
There we go. Okay, wait, what's it called
I'm
again?
widening your genres. There's another one for you.
Paranautical.
Yeah.
Paranautical shooter.
Activity.
And I just heard it once and I butchered it completely.
like the joke of paranormal, but paranautical.
What?
And it's got like a weird 3D pixel art.
I see this.
To
Yeah,
it,
it's like
like-
voxelish.
It's blocky. Yeah. You should try it out. It's pretty fun. I like it.
Sure, absolutely.
So here's the funny thing about this question, though, is we might describe a game like that, but then be like, oh, that's already done. Here's a game that's like it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like,
We could get
it might be an
stomped on.
impossible question to answer because there's so many games out there that might already have something done. Because one that I thought of was like a first-person RPG, and I'm talking like full-on traditional turn-based RPG kind of thing, but everything's first-person. And I don't know if I've ever seen something
Whoa.
like that. You know?
Maybe.
So
now that is something that I would totally be down to play.
the reason what brought that up to me, I'd actually seen this new game that, well, it's actually an old game, but it's Pokemon 3D, and it takes
Yo, you're
everything
right.
from the top-down Pokemon game, but it changed the sprites to a first-person view. So you're literally going through
Really?
the world first person. The grass, like you're walking through the grass, and it's almost as tall as you. Like the ledges are actual ledges that you can't go up because they're higher than you, and stuff like that. And but then the battling is like Pokemon Stadium, where it's kind of got like the panning from a distance and then the attack. But
Oh my goodness.
I would love a full RPG game, and it doesn't have to be Pokemon. I'm just saying in general, like imagine like a Final Fantasy or something like that, but everything is first person, and even in the battles, it's first person.
Dude, that'd be kind of cool.
I don't know. It's just something that we've never seen before, and it's not so much that even I'd be like, I want that game. It's more just I had to think of something that I hadn't seen before, and I thought that might be kind of cool.
That would be.
Now, I know it's not exactly in the same realm, but could you imagine, like, if something like Bayonetta was in first person?
Yeah, that'd be
God.
That would be crazy.
I would puke. God, that would be. That'd be
yeah, it
awful.
might almost be too much.
Yeah.
Those well, that's true though. Like character action games are like anything. Add a first person to it, and that might change it drastically.
Probably so.
Yeah.
God, I can't even think of anything that hasn't existed before though. Like every idea I have is shot down. I
Like
don't know.
the only thing that I thought of was like, I don't know, some kind of crossover between an RPG and a racing game.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Just because like, I don't know, I really want to like sit down and play like just chill out with a racing game. Like that's something that I've been like really feeling lately.
Yeah.
But I haven't done it yet. But I still want that storyline of like an RPG, you know. So like, give me both.
Honestly, why
Yeah,
not?
that's interesting. Wow. Yeah, I wonder how they would do that.
Yeah, for real.
I like. Obviously, it wouldn't be turn-based because, you know, races. But, I mean...
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe
No,
you
but
gotta,
then
like,
you
race
face
the
off
clock.
against your rival, and then you have to like battle in your cars.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You have a cutscene where like it transitions to the two of you.
What if it's like this in... What if it's just like this comically long, like drag strip race, and you have to, like...
Dude,
use like swords and magic while you're fighting on top of your car.
that sounds amazing. I'd love that.
Yeah.
Half of it's racing, half of it's fighting. Like that'd be fantastic.
A Mad Max RPG.
Yeah, like even better than the Mad Max games. Like,
like give me that.
There you go, man.
Like that's what I
any
want.
indie
Get on it,
developers
game
out
designers.
here, get with it. Yeah, anybody
Come
out
on.
there,
Make it, please.
come on, hurry up.
Come on, we want that good game design.
Oh no. Oh, Interstellar.
Anyway,
meme.
I just things to. It's really interesting to think about because genres are already so like established, you know, that it's really kind of cool to think about something new that we haven't seen before, and it'd be good to see that.
I completely agree.
I think a lot of people think,
Yeah.
you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it thing, but like let's see some innovation, you know, let's see
Yeah.
some new cool stuff.
Also push
Yeah,
it.
take some risks. Take a chance.
Yeah.
Like, don't like. I guess that's like if you know, not that any game developer is gonna listen to me, but like, don't be afraid to take some risks. Like, I want like if you're thinking about doing like some interesting concept that hasn't been done yet, do it.
Yeah.
Like, what's like worst thing that could happen is that it just doesn't work as well as you wanted it to. Like, and. Like I'm totally forgiving of that. Like if it's especially if it's like a trial.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah,
it's
man.
like if
I would
it's like
still love you, it's
something
okay.
brand new. Like I'm totally like I have an open mind about things like that. Like
Yeah.
if something is like brand new to me, like I will totally give it a shot. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like I don't know how else to describe
I'm gonna
it.
give you.
I would love to see
I want to
new
reiterate
innovation.
this is Groggy Cast.
It's Groggy Cast. I'm gonna give you
Did we
guys.
mention
Some,
this Groggy Cast?
it's Groggy Cast. Some borderline dating advice, game developers. Just trust your heart and take a chance. That's all I can say, man. Just
It
tell her
works
how you
for game
feel.
development, but also for your love life.
It does, man. Just tell that game how you feel. It'll
Take a
probably be
chance.
alright.
Take a chance on me.
Swipe
God
right
damn it.
on that chance.
There you go.
Swipe right on that opportunity.
We gotta be sure we
Swipe
stay here.
right for good game
Take
design.
on me. Take me on.
When we talk about love life, why do we go to Tinder?
Yeah, I know, right? Why would we go to
Yeah.
Tinder?
I don't know
Give
why.
it to
I don't
you.
know. That was just like the automatic association that I had with like today's modern like love culture.
Yeah, you're
Kids
right.
these days
just-
and their dating apps.
Tinder.
Joey's
the-
just old man this cast.
Hey, Charlie's taker. Okay.
Like, I certainly feel that way, like, because, you know, I like, going off topic a little bit, but I didn't have to, like, worry about anything like that because I started dating my fiance when we were still in high school, and we're engaged now. So,
dude, high school sweethearts.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
We just celebrated 6 years together in February.
Joey swiped right for life, dude.
snoCast.
Yeah,
Round of applause for Joey. Ooh. I'm talking to two almost married men here. Jeez.
Crazy.
So yeah, that's why I had that, like, association with, like, today's modern love life. Just because, like, it seems like too many people are using that service nowadays.
It's gonna be difficult for my generation, Joey.
It's a problem.
It's gonna be a big old problem. Can't wait.
We're just gonna date computers eventually, I think.
It's gonna turn into her.
So.
Good movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna turn into 2006 RuneScape.
Yes, that's what I want. I want to sell GF.
Penguin Club.
Yeah. Club Penguin.
Yes.
Penguin.
Penguin Club, my favorite game.
So, thank you guys for being on the cast. I'm bringing it back.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being on this time. I really appreciate you guys talking genres with me.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, man.
At a time of life.
Excellent times have been had. Thank you for listening. Hey, put it in the comments below of what your favorite genre is. I would love to hear from the audience. What's your favorite genre? Also, the same questions to you. You know, if there's a new genre that you've never seen before, but you want to see it happen, tell us about it. What's something new that you've never seen? Let's get creative with this one. You know, let's see some cool creativity in the chat, in the comments. Gosh, Groggy Cast.
Comments can be a chat.
They can be.
It can
like
turn
a big
into a nice
doorway
little
into
chat. Just a cute little chat.
Yeah.
Let's see some nice community action going on in there.
Yeah, man, for sure. But thank you guys again one last time for being on. It's always a blast. Everyone say goodbye to Joey and Kyle. We've had an awesome time. Any last words to leave us on?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me.
I'm back. I was gone for a little bit. I disappeared from the call, but now I'm back.
What? Well, thanks for having me on, Snow.
It happened for like 4 seconds.
Cast ruined.
Cast over, man. It's all ruined.
Oh, it's over.
I said any
realize.
last words. God, Joey. Oh my gosh.
Joey.
All right.
Jeez.
Any words to leave us on, Kyle?
Thanks for having me on, Snow. It's been an absolute pleasure. Absolutely love the cast. This is. I'm so glad to finally be a part of it. So thanks.
I appreciate it, man. You rock, dude.
Man.
Joey?
You rock.
I feel like I've already used my last words describing my panic. So I'll leave it at that.
All right, we're gonna just call it. I think all three of us need to take a nap, so we're gonna go do that. But thank you for listening. We'll see you on the next snoCast. Next one will be Donkey Kong month, so I hope you're getting hyped for that. That is around the corner. Donkey Kong month is the month of April. Many fun times to be had, so get excited for that, and we'll see you guys then. Thanks for listening. Go play your favorite genre of game, and we'll see you guys next time. Everyone say bye-bye. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a beautiful time.
snoCast.